So we have configured the Rabbit template that allows us to send messages. Now, in order for applications to consume the messages from the queues, we need to set up the listener. And to be honest, so that you know, you actually don't have to set this up, but because I want you guys to learn things the right way, so that you understand how things work, so I feel like it's best practice. So the same with the template right here. So by default, you can just inject and one is provided to you. So here I'm going to say public and then SimpleRabbitListenerContainerFactory. And let me just have this long name in here. There we go. And inside, let's just say SimpleRabbitListenerContainerFactory. This will be called factory in here, equals to new. And this is as straightforward as this. Let me put this on a new line so you see everything. Now we need to basically, so let's just say factory dot set and then connection and then factory. Now, if you remember correctly, before we have this connection factory. So let's just use it. So connection and then factory. And also let's set up the message converter. So factory dot set and then message converter. And then we have the Jackson message converter. And finally, let's just return. So return and then the factory. And as always, let's define, or actually let's just say that this is a bean. Now we have configured the template. So this allows us to send the messages to the queue, and this allows us to receive the message from the queue using the Jackson converter. And if we have to change, so in here, so we can pass the object mapper in here, so JSON object mapper. So if we have to do that at a later stage, we will do it, but for now, let's just leave this as is and move on. But this is pretty much the setup required for us to send and receive messages from queues. Now, obviously, this is not enough because we haven't set up the exchange nor the queues, and we didn't actually bind the exchange to a particular queue. So that's what we're going to do next. Now that we have this module, which is almost ready, so we have the template, the listener factory, and the Jackson converter. Now, what I want to do is to add the dependencies to our notification microservice. So customer will send a notification to this exchange, which we're going to set in a second, as well as the queue. Now we need to set up the dependencies for notification as well as customer in here. So let's together open up IntelliJ and let's open up the project tab. Now navigate to notification and then pom.xml, and in here let's just add the dependencies. So first we need Spring and then boot starter AMQP, so or advanced message queue protocol, this from Spring Boot. We also need the dependency that we've just created for our module. So dependency, and this will be advanced message queue and then P, and this comes from Amigos code, and leave the version as 1 and then snapshot. And to be honest, this is it. So let's just take these two dependencies and let's pretty much just add them to customer. So customer will also need this. So here, let's just add to customer. So at some point, maybe fraud might want to interact with the message queue, but for now, I don't have any intentions to do so. And I just want to focus on customer and notification for now. So now let's just click on this button right here to load all the Maven changes. And to be honest, this is it. So you can see the power of having these modules, and then we can just include the dependencies wherever we need them.